Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
There's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fire it over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway. But when he...
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, 30, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerve showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They'll run it now from the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up the outside line.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And what really attracts people to him? A passionate leader, controls the huddle really well, controls the locker room, and also throws with anticipation and accuracy, especially evident when he throws the deep ball.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. A toss to Cook. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing down early to try and get things done later.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And they weren't in some... coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin the drive with a J. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. One quarter gone in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Philadelphia after this. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2.
Come on now. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now wins. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Michael Bannon in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college. And our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back, away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey from 10 yards out. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play. That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because of the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Chris Long in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Going deep for Diggs. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. On second down, Cousins again. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. He had 6 catches in the wild card win, and that's his first one here in the off comes to Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to get him for a loss of 5. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Look at it, move the ball.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Eagles get... take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Carlson able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they slowed them when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Throwing on first is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wentz will try again on second down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They go play action here on first down. Hurts over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 more yards there and another first down. On first down, Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he's brought down. The first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. The final shot before half for Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Wallace. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gadd.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Second down, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 73 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one a first down.
Come on now, let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Linval Joseph with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really do.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the 2nd half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Able to get away. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. Wentz now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
They run. Cook. Oh, no, he lost the football. It is picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one. I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
Hang in there now.
It's a gain of 5. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Here's Wentz to throw. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Here's Cousins. Dancing to his left. And he's got some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Cousins. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe just sitting on and trying to drain some clock.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here we go. 120.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Back. 120.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. But I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let's go.
Throwing here, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Cousins. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Now Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try to roll it in with Murray. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. He'll get it up the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now Cousins. Forced out to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Long bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
And his kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
One final try now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say 24-hour cheesesteak shop, here we come.
Oh, yeah, and I'm buying, partner. And guess what? I'm having mine with.
And I'm having 2 if you're buying. Good night from Philadelphia.
let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
Two teams that don't like each other much. One will go to Super Bowl 53 as we're underway in the 2019 NFC title game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
There's a toughness about Jared Goff that maybe he doesn't get enough credit for. His freshman year at Cal, team went 1-11. His rookie year with the Rams, he was 0-7 as a starter, undaunted in either case, and has come back each and every time to flash the ability that made him the #1 overall pick in the draft when he came out of Cal.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
After the career that he's had in the NFL thus far, you get the sense that he was underrated coming out of college. Not just great intangibles, but the ability to make plays come alive, whether he's exiting the pocket or throwing from within the confines of it.
And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On 3rd down, Cousins. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Ndamukong Suh able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around. Just trying to cover in the secondary.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the opponent doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep. You thought they were wrong. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual play.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron, and he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now he'll tuck it and run. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Oh, what a move. And some room to run now. And he'll get it down deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there out of Cook. 57 yards on the ground. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Cousins. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Connor Barwin in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. You decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Again, they run with Gurley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no game.
Called fitting your gap.
I love it. You're exactly right.
His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Touchdown, are in for 6.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, and he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Cousins now. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Here we go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
This is caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Connor Barwin able to get him for a loss of about 3.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Another carry now for Gurley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing,
and the Rams got it. They bring him down. by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get it down deep into Los Angeles territory. So we've reached halftime. Who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Now Cousins. Well, they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. First possession. Of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. And he's caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talked about where he'll want that one back. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Robert Woods from 6 yards away. And the Rams add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to...
Stephon Diggs! Touchdown, Vikings! Stephon Diggs, 75 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Cooper on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now. And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, but he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him. 2nd down, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st. Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Let's go.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They pitch it out to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They run again on first down. Cook. And power running. Here down to the 6-yard line.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
On second down, Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied, fourth quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team. But at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out? Just what you said.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And some room to maneuver. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And in the chess match of this game, where every play a move has to be made with a counter, how about the defense having the checkmate on that one?
3rd and long. It's gone. And that one's complete to Gurley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Needed 13. They got 14 on 3rd down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit. And that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And a short gain down to about the 33. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And now out comes Minnesota. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, And what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Coming right, this is Cook on the toss punt. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Cousins. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Carlson is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
he'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. The Rams on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. This defense not going to lag back. They come with pressure that time, force him out of the pocket, and the incompletion.
And so many times when you're watching a game, you're seeing the offense doing all the dictating. In this case, the defense said, we're dictating the terms, and turned it loose towards him.
And it all rides on this one play, a trip to the Super Bowl in the balance here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And now out comes Minnesota. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. And as they take that knee, you can hear a pin drop in this stadium right now, partner.
I'd say you can hear a pin drop except for one thing. You're hearing a lot of people on cell phones right now calling and saying, cancel my reservation, because this crowd thought they were going to the Super Bowl. They had trips planned, hotels, reservations, the whole deal. That's all wiped out now.
This was the goal before they started the season, to play in a Super Bowl, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
And this is why songs are written about teams. Okay, you go back, some teams wrote them earlier in the season about their goal of getting to the Super Bowl. This one, they're going to be able to break it out now because their goal was to get there, and they achieved it. How about that? That's pretty fantastic.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.
Let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 53. For the call, let's go to Atlanta, as it is my pleasure to hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are honored to be here for the biggest spectacle in sports, the Super Bowl. Are you ready, partner?
I am more than ready, and I love the word you used, honored, because it is an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here. My excitement is just about to burst through the booth. I can't wait to do this.
Well, and sitting with both of these teams and talking in the meetings and media day and all the hoopla that goes into this, there was one common theme. They're ready to stop the talking and start playing football.
Yeah, they were probably ready a while ago. Now they can just focus on it. It's done. The only talking they have to worry about now is post-game, and they hope that they'll be talking as the winning team.
And we'll see. You know, both sides come in with a game plan to start. We'll see how the adjustments are made throughout, because there are always adjustments in this game.
I want to see if they come out conservative, trying to minimize errors, or if they have enough confidence to attack early and try and take advantage of the other team's nervousness.
The talk, all the hype, but the past is prologue as this Super Bowl is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
We talk so often about his physical attributes. Of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating, and he's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true number 1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
They'll go again with Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell is a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Ah, yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
Here's Conner. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain of Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And what really attracts people to him? A passionate leader, controls the huddle really well, controls the locker room, and also throws with anticipation and accuracy, especially evident when he throws the deep ball.
Let's go.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run it again with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. So we played a quarter here in Super Bowl 53. 0-0 our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. A toss to Cook, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
He turned that into a nice gain. Gets yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the...
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving. And the running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage. Nothing.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Throwing his Cousins. This is caught. His 2nd catch in the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. Hey, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to
didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. When the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there, it doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the...
And Thielman's got it! Touchdown Vikings! With a first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly.
Oh, this is blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Linval Joseph coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
They'll run it with Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there, 62 yards, and the Vikings Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger to the right side, incomplete to Washington. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now it's Roethlisberger. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph in there to drop him, and that is 2 sacks for him now here in this first half. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Hunter. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back near the goal line, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Now that's absolutely terrific technique right there by the corner. Exhibit A. Zone coverage. Knew where his man was in relation to the football at all times and made a nice play.
51 yards on the punt there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It has been a remarkable first season in the studio for me. I want to thank you guys so much as I send it over one final time for the second half call of Super Bowl 53 to Brandon and Charles in Atlanta.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Now Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Carlson on for the PAT. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And McDonald here over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete right side to McDonald. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hand somehow and create some space, because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game. One of the premier runners in the NFL.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a short pickup here as he'll get up to about the 22-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Second down, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you've got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Cousins now on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Cousins to throw it. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
He'll rifle this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. 1 quarter remains in Super Bowl 53. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll run with Cook. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
this time?
Yeah, get a little
closer.
Yeah. You know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less than the field goal attempt for him.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
To throw is Cousins. Onside caught by Diggs. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. 1st down. Here's Cousins. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Back-to-back nice gains. One for 14 yards and another first. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Washington with the catch, middle of the field. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep, trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Hey, 382, legs empty.
Cousins here to throw. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. A good pickup there, 22. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Throwing here, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Able to shake him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Cameron Hayward able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
minute to see how you can improve your team. Stats such as the 40-yard dash are now available in scouting. That will appear in the upcoming draft. Select a player. Select to scout this player and unlock his best. Each skill unlock will cost you scouting points. Unlock this player's true skill ranking. See if he's you just found a diamond in the rough. Other teams. A combine grade. The score represents how combine performance tells you how his speed. effort you spend scouting comes down to this. Start the draft when you're ready.
The Vikings are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock.